Welcome to a 1v1 on Crossing in the Woods. This is PanzerKampfWaven versus levonrealg. Was that a good pronunciation, by the way? PanzerKampfWaven. That's my best attempt. I realize that the Z is like region dependent. It could be Panzer or Panzer or Panzer. Panzer. It can be a Z or a S, like its sound. Either one's fine, I'm pretty sure. So I prefer the like the TS version. I just like that PanzerKampfWagen. Anyway, I don't live in Germany, so I'm not part of a German region. I'm not bound by these dialects. I get to choose my German pronunciations. And we've got a double assault engineer opening from levonrealg on Crossing in the Woods, which I cannot imagine is going to work very well. But he's certainly welcome to give it a shot. PanzerKampfWaven comes straight down the center. And that fighting position completes in time to push the PanzerKampfWaven away, so that's good. It cannot get into close range because the rear echelons inside the fighting position will kill it too quickly, and it can't hold still at long range because of the rifle grenades, so it will be forced away from this area, but he won't be simultaneously. levonrealg cannot actually capture the victory point. Over here on the left side, Sturms will beat assault engineers in pretty much any situation unless the assault engineers get into point blank range, because I think their close range DPS is actually better than Sturms, but Sturms will, unless the engagement happens right around a corner, Sturms will do way more on their approach because they have assault rifles versus these SMGs. I don't think they can win against this sheer quantity of troops, though. I don't know. We're gonna find out. Those rear echelons should not be doing what they're currently doing. That got wiped. That's also gonna get wiped. Oh my god. What a horrible engagement. Why would he do this? Oh no. levonrealg has nothing. Well, I think I have a pretty good idea how the rest of this game's going to go. Everything is dead already. Field some riflemen and a fresh squad of assault engineers. That one may get wiped again. More assault engineers. He basically needs to pick up a bunch of squad wipes with his assault engineers at close range via some miracle. If he's going to be able to win from this point forward. This might be a good start. No, he attack moved rather than moving. So yeah, I'm not sure what he's going to do. Suppressed on the left, losing at long range on the right. And battle group headquarters has been constructed while a PanzerKampfWaven continues to defend this VP. The American player will be triple capped soon, I think. Fighting position goes up on the left, actually, with a 50 cal. Volksgrenadiers have a Panzerschreck that could flank around behind, take that out. Captain purchased by the US forces next. So, it's already almost 10 minutes into the game. No light vehicle, terrible map control. AT gun. Maybe he's going to use that against the PanzerKampfWaven, or he's just... I mean, Captain tier does make sense if you're losing horribly. It actually does, because you need AT guns, and you won't have the fuel to counter your opponent's vehicles with vehicles of your own if you go major tier, or attempt to go major tier. So Captain makes so much more sense in that situation to try to maybe make some sort of miracle comeback. We've got a double AT gun against a Puma opening, so he has teched correctly, but his engagements have been absolutely awful. Apparently he built a backup fighting position right here in case this one goes down. So he's okay. That's not the end of the world. He didn't need that fighting position. He's got another one. Over here on the right side, Captain taking control of the right side fuel with rifle support. There is an MG34 protecting the right side VP. Left side VP has not been taken yet. The squads need to take control of that if possible.
MG34 heavy machine guns are now available.
Don't want to be stuck in one of those.
Yeah, I'm not sure the US player has been introduced to the mechanic of reinforcement or retreating yet. Maybe. Double machine gun upgrades on these fighting positions.
Rear echelon squad ready for action.
American player surprisingly holding on to territory quite well. He's actually got a pretty big army again. Over Commando West kind of sitting idle, didn't capitalize on his early advantage, and the American player has 2 victory points under his control. Which is surprising. The Puma is an extremely hard counter to the fighting positions, so he really needs to get those cleaned up as well as he can, without, of course, exposing himself to AT gun fire. A 3rd AT gun currently in production, so he's probably regretting having gone with Puma. But he's now going to transition into what I assume to be Obersoldaten. Ober's hard counter everything in the US Army right now. Except for standing in front of fighting positions, I guess. Oh, this is facing backwards.
Swarming one of our emplacements.
Look at this fighting position placement. It's tactical genius. Protecting his cutoff from the flanks. Oh, man. That's pretty amazing. Something tells me that's not going to work very well, but hey, who am I to judge? Let's find out. AT gun overextending. I don't know why he's doing that. Alright. That's a dead AT gun.
We lost an anti-tank gun.
We'll recover it with rear echelons, try and pull it back to safety. Machine gun upgrade has not yet completed. Rifle grenades bleeding infantry on the advance a little bit. And the Puma has to pull back away from the AT gun to avoid being destroyed. But a grenade will clear. No, will not clear. Almost clears the AT gun, but not quite. And that fighting position will get extremely slowly repaired by 1 rear echelon troop. These 2 squads over here on the right side get the fuel under control, but the MG-34 will prevent the capture of the victory point. Holding 1 victory point is all OKW really needs to survive to the late game. He's held 1 or more for pretty much the entire game. Actually has a 100 victory point lead right now, so all he really needs is to just spam Obersoldaten if he wants to overwhelm this position, but he actually went with Fallschirmjäger out of this building instead, which should have the same general effect as long as he just walks around the fighting position to clear out those team weapons. He should be fine. Another one is going up right here. This fighting position spam is highly amusing. I'm surprised PanzerKampfWaven has not produced a Raketenwerfer. Raketenwerfer is a hard counter to fighting positions. So is the Puma, but the Puma struggles against these AT guns, so Raketenwerfer would be a infantry-based counter to these fighting positions that would perform a little better against the AT gun wall. And there is one in production right now, so that'll help. It's a little late though. It's 15 minutes into the game against somebody who went with a, what, 6 fighting position opening? I think Raketenwerfer is pretty justified.
The enemy is overrunning one of our capture points.
Assault engineers wiped again. Fallschirmjäger taking control of the victory point. Sturmpile is moving up the left side. Raketenwerfer setting up the fire against the fighting position. That's destroyed. Pretty easy. Just to build another one. Extremely slowly with 1 assault engineer. And a grenade wipes the squad. Those 2 AT guns might actually wipe that Volksgrenadier squad eventually. It'll take some time though. There's a Sherman on the field. Sherman has actually made it onto the battlefield. It's a 17-minute Sherman. That's extremely late. But it's here. Puma and Raketenwerfer plus Panzerfaust and 3 Panzerschrecks should be more than enough. More than enough to deal with that Sherman. But it looks like it's going to do some counter-harassment of the right side first, judging by what I'm seeing. Sturmpile is trying to execute some sort of flank. Fallschirmjäger will wipe another squad on the victory point. Oops. Fallschirmjäger get wiped over there. Puma's falling dangerously low. It's trying to kite the Sherman to death. It may succeed. I think it needs 2 more shots. Oh, what's that Sherman doing? It's killing the Puma. That Puma was not being microed very attentively, and the Sherman gets into close range. Oh, that flank! That Sternpio flank! Wow! That was amazing. That Sherman was not expecting those Sternpios to do that. I think it might cost him that squad, but that's an okay trade, I think. Sternpios for a Sherman. Losing the Puma makes it not very okay of a trade. But he's going to replace those Sternpios now. And Assault Engineers move to recover the AT gun. The US player has currently got 3 AT guns, a 1-man Assault Engineer squad.
Watch for my engineers taking the field.
Captain, Major, first squad of Assault Engineers now. Huge fuel advantage to the Overcommando West. I'm pretty sure we're going to be looking at King Tiger soon. Trying to mass the fuel for that next. Folks going to just wipe another Assault Engineer squad on the victory point circle. But they will get suppressed and chased away by this squad of Assault Engineers. There they go.
Heavy machine gun group are ready for action.
And they get wiped in their attempt to steal that MG34. Like I said before, Obersoldaten will pretty much hard counter everything in the US Army. Especially with the Sherman dead again. It's pretty much back to just only infantry. The only thing that could possibly give them trouble is walking straight into fighting positions. So, they shouldn't do that. All that PanzerKampfWaven has to do to destroy those is move up his Raketenwerfer to take these things out at range. The right side continues to be defended by these 3 squads. They've basically just been hovering in this area for the entire game. They do pull back across their half of the river, and we'll move to push away the captain again. Oh, and he didn't go King Tiger, he went Panther. I'm surprised by that. Just looking at his fuel, he had the fuel for a King Tiger. He went all 3 tech structures. I don't understand why he would go Panther. Maybe he was too scared that the Sherman was going to show up. Captain jumps in the house and dies. Folks Grenadier fire. Stolen MG34 does force a retreat from those overs. Folks Grenadiers moving up into close range to take control of the victory point, and more fighting positions are being spammed by the US player.
We lost an infantry unit. They got wiped out.
Panther's trying to be careful. Panther could probably move up to take out fighting positions now as well. All he really has to do to win this game is just blow up all the fighting positions and then steamroll everything with Obersoldaten. Blowing up the fighting positions should be very easy, by the way. The Kubelwagen has the sight range to spot for the Raketen. It just has to move up a little bit and can easily provide vision of those. You should not self-spot with the Raketenwerfer. That would be a mistake. All he has to do is move the Kubelwagen up. He doesn't need to do this with the Raketenwerfer, but... Alright. Pulling back. I think the main reason PanzerKampfWagen hasn't been destroying fighting positions is he doesn't know how to secure vision for himself. That's what scout vehicles are for. He could have done so with the Puma while it was still alive. He can still do so with the Kubelwagen. They can spot the fighting position at range without the fighting position seeing it back in return. So I think he just doesn't realize that he needs to secure vision for himself. I don't think he actually knows about the longer sight range of his light vehicles. So, like, look how far a Kubelwagen can see. That's one of the main reasons to get this unit.
Crew taking fire! Come on, shot out! Clear!
Well, the right side continues to be entirely in Axis hands. Raketenwerfer continues to try to destroy these fighting positions by self-spotting, and it's not working. And the engagement for the left continues to rage. Kubelwagen is destroyed. AT guns, close fighting positions, setting up fighting. A bit of a screen against this Panther. RNG bombs get dropped on the left side. Might wipe that. Yep, wipes that machine gun. Panther does get clear though. Stern pios need to reinforce to execute repairs at maximum speed. Also, at this level of play, if you absolutely have no idea how to execute against fighting positions because you don't know how to get vision for yourself, and you don't know what to do against the U.S. forces wall, which is probably one of the weakest defensive walls in the game, by the way. As over Commando West, I would just get a Sturm Tiger, because a Sturm Tiger actually can just drive up to this, blow everything up, and then retreat to safety. It can do it completely solo, self-spotting, doesn't need support. So at this skill level, I think the Sturm Tiger is probably just crazy overpowered. I would highly recommend it. King Tiger as well. Panther doesn't have quite the same level of alpha damage, so you might get forced to retreat or destroyed by a Panther getting too overextended for too long. A Stuka's probably a good call too. Nothing wrong with that. I think a Sturm Tiger is more fun, but they're pretty much the same level of effectiveness on average against this kind of defensive line. More fighting positions being constructed. Grenade will clear out the Sherman right there.
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
Structure completed!
Fighting position machine gun is in place. Krauts are sniffing around our asses. Tactical. Krauts just took out an entire gun crew.
Oversoldaten charging into fighting positions again over here on the left side. He's trying to destroy it with a grenade, and it works actually. Brute forces it to death from the front by just running up and bundle grenading it and then finishing it off with the Panzerschreck. Although I don't know if it's that cost effective for munitions or manpower. Taking heavy damage on street. There's so many of these. Just nothing but fighting positions and AT guns. I feel like this might be levonrealg's strategy against AI, and now he's trying it out against humans. Probably works a lot better against AI. He's trying to transition into the multiplayer realm. This works so well against CPU. Seems to be struggling though. Seems to be struggling against PanzerKampfWaven, who admittedly does seem to be hurling troops into the defensive wall without making any real effort to go around. Although it's getting harder and harder to do so, the wider the wall gets. Of course, this flanking route from the right side has been open for pretty much the entire game and hasn't used it a single time, so there's that to consider. M10 on the field for the American player now. Still a Panther available to take that out easily enough. Once there's a second M10, there may be a slightly more real threat. Infantry support gun plus Stuka combo, just slowly pounding away at everything on this half of the river. Volks Grenadiers will beat those assault engineers and wipe them again. And the M10 has also died in the center, apparently. It's Rakettenwerfer fire and Panther fire. There's a new one. Assault engineers wiped. Stuka barrage. Still on MG-34. Trying to suppress Volks Grenadiers on the flank, and the M10 has a destroyed engine. We'll try and pull that back to safety. The center is almost completely clear except for these two machine guns. Panther moves up to clear it out. And there it goes. AT gun cleared by this blob. Seems PanzerKampfWaven has resorted to blobbing out of frustration. It'll work fine. Nothing wrong with that. No real blob punishers from the US forces yet. Once he gets a bulldozer out, he may want to change his mind. But until then, just blob forward, blow up some defenses, blob forward, kill an AT gun, whatever. He'll be able to do so quite cost effectively, as you can see. Taking minor casualties, killing almost everything. He should salvage these while he has the opportunity, by the way. He could prevent those getting recruited by him with salvage. But I mean, whatever, the American player has no anything left at all. Infantry support gun firing over here on the left side. Almost all fighting positions gone. M10 moving up on the right side will convince the machine gun to retreat. A blob is moving to counter. 50 cal will not be able to stand against the ogres. I don't think. Could be wrong. Oh, glorious RNG bombs. Wipe that squad. 50 cal does go down to the Obersoldaten in green cover. The M10s are apparently too scary. Volksgrenadiers will retreat. American player has victory point control currently, somehow. Stern Pyos move to try and retake over here on the left. Panther moves up to clear out the fighting position. Infantry support gun support. And the blob continues fighting on the right. And 50 cal gets cleared out again. Raketenwerfer will screen away the American tank destroyers. There's another fighting position right there. Man, he just keeps building those. Crews the machine gun with his assault engineers. And he's up to 3 M10s. He's managed to mass quite a few of these. Oh man. I've been watching Romeo's streams for quite a while, but never bothered to make a Twitch account. But I like really had to comment on this game. This is hilarious. Oh man, whoever sent this in sent in such an amusing replay that somebody made a Twitch account. See? Value, that value replay. Well, welcome to the stream, Karaoke, Muskie. Which one is Quinn Duffy? How dare you? Quinn Duffy would flow twice this amount of resources.
Americans down to 100 points.
45 minutes into the game, are you kidding? He'd be up to like 6,000 manpower by now. Everything retreats from the right side. M10 rotating over here to continue to assist. You can tell his strategy is just hard AT and suppression. He doesn't really have much of a DPS thing. He can't do damage to anything. The only way he's wiped any squads this game is if anything just blobbed straight into the fighting positions for too long and got gunned down in red cover. That's pretty much it. I don't even know how many fighting positions have been destroyed this game. I guess I can check. There's like a buildings destroyed stat, right? I don't know where it is though. Maybe there's not. I don't know. I guess not. Can I see fighting positions in the units tab? Wow, he's made 12 rear echelon troops. Yeah, I don't think I can see. I don't think I can see fighting positions. Damn. I could count them.
Goddamn points. Rear echelon troops on the front line.
Whatever. There were a lot. There were a lot. Let's just put it that way. M10 goes down on the left to Panther fire. Raketenwerfer is protecting that Panther from an aggressive push by an M10 swarm. American player is up to 4 M10s. Apparently, wow, look at that BMGG. What the heck? It's a 50-minute game with 45 points remaining. You don't just say good game, well played. That's terrible manners, PanzerKampfWaven. How rude. I mean, yeah, you're gonna win. What come on. Like, the clock is stopped with 45 points left. That's not cool.
One of our fighting positions is sustaining fire. We lost a gun. The enemy has destroyed
Another fighting
an
position
emplacement.
destroyed. Blob chasing down M10s. That one gets popped like a balloon. And levonrealg surrenders at the 52-minute mark. GG. Fighting positions lose.